Welcome to Disability Book Week Superstar Authors. I am your host, Kelly M. Likes. Let's set the scene. I am sitting here dressed in my favorite gray sweater. I have got a black and white and gray dress on. I'm still in front of my bookshelf of my favorite books. Over in the corner, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a little bumblebee. And way down there, I've got a fire engine that is green. And we are here with Loredana Rivers. And I got to tell y'all, she looks gorgeous. She has got a burgundy and black dress on, shirt on, and she has, I see Beethoven, and there is a beautiful candle and an antique clock. Y'all, I am so excited for this interview. So Laura Donna, welcome.
Hello.
All right, so let's start this interview. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi, I'm Loredana Rivers. I'm 27 years old. I live in El Dorado, Arkansas. I am the author of the book Vessel of Miracles. I am on the autism spectrum, and I'm also an occupational therapy assistant.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Tell me a little bit more about your book.
My book, Vessel of Miracles, is my very first book. I've wanted to be an author since I've been 13. I wrote this book when I was 25 and published it when I was 26. My book is unique because it is split into two different perspectives. My book, from the very first page to the very last page, is just one single day in the life of a mother and her son with cerebral palsy. The mother's name is Jamie and the son's name is Richard. But what makes my book unique is that it is split into two different perspectives. Richard has cerebral palsy. He is 23. He uses a wheelchair and a communication board to access him throughout the day. And his mom is his best friend, his number one support. But what's cool about my book is it's split into two different perspectives. The first section of the book is all in her point of view, and then later on it switches to his perspective so the reader can see what each side is like from a caregiver's point of view and from Richard's point of view.
I absolutely love that. So you got to tell me, how did it go from thought in your head to holding your book? What was your writing process?
Okay, well, it was really easy for me to write this because I lived these experiences through therapy school, learning hands on, through also having, a challenge that I face and live with every day with having autism. I have a hard time communicating with others, so I know what that's like. And I also have a very close person in my life named Kelsey who has cerebral palsy. So much of it was really just pulled from real life events that I've lived. So with that, I pull from the things I've went through and learned. And then, there's certain songs I listen to that remind me of my characters that kind of are like a theme song. So that helps get the fireworks going in my head. But what my writing process is like, once I have all the ideas, I make bullet points. So like chapter 4, for example, this is what's going to happen in the chapter. I make an outline and make bullet points. And then after that, I take the bullet point and write a paragraph. And then after the paragraph's written, I enhance the paragraph by adding more details, rounding it out, filling it in, and making it longer. And then after that, you continue with the editing process, which is different for each and every author. But that's about how it happens.
That's a fantastic process. That's awesome.
Hey,
Well, what sort of advice would you give to somebody who maybe has a story that they feel that they need to tell? What sort of advice would you give to them?
do not be afraid to share it because I've wanted to write a book since I've been 13, since reading an inclusive book in my 12 years. I was 12 years old in sixth grade and read the book Rules by Cynthia Lord. And there was an autistic character in the book that reminded me of myself. And I felt seen. So I wanted to write my own inclusive book. And I was 12 and I made it happen at age 26. So never give up on your dreams. The only way it's impossible is if you don't let it happen. And never be afraid of other people reading your work because you're going to find out that they're going to love it because we all have a story to tell, but never think it's impossible.
That's beautiful. Thank you. All righty. It is my favorite part of the interview. Will you please share some of your book with us?
My favorite page in my book is page 86 and will always be my favorite page. This book has a lot of humor in it, but this page is emotional and is my favorite. It says, when I'm having an unimaginable difficult time with Richard, my favorite Bible verse to depend on is Psalm 121:1. That Bible verse assures me and says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. That Bible verse assures me that I'm never alone. And the last paragraph says, in any situation, I know that God is on the throne. Even when I can't find out what is troubling Richard, God is on the throne. Even when Richard yells in pain, God is on the throne. Even in our darkest hour, God is on the throne. God's name is above any diagnosis or heartbreak because He is the healer of a broken heart. God's love and strength will restore and make you perfect and complete, needing nothing. So every morning I pray, God, let me be your light bearer. Do what only you can do in me.
Okay, that was magical. Thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. I
Thank
think
you.
a lot of times when you see things from a caretaker's perspective, you have to have that hope when it's difficult. And
Mhm.
that was beautiful. Well, thank you
Thank you.
so much for being here, Loredana. I'm totally enjoyed this. Do you have any final words that you would like to leave us with?
The only thing is just never change who you are for anyone else and just always be yourself and just always know that even though you go through hard times, there can still be wonderful things that comes out of those hard times and just always choose to be happy because life's too short.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a Disability Book Week superstar author. I truly appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.